Meet Sabrina, a young woman brimming with creativity, with a passion for design and a head full of dreams. However, she struggled with a relentless inner critic. Self-doubt cast a long shadow, dimming her light. Sabrina constantly questioned her abilities, feared judgment, and worried about making mistakes, making it hard for her to share her talents with the world. Sabrina had always loved to draw. As a child, she would spend hours lost in her sketchbook, creating worlds of color and imagination. But as she grew older, the fear of failure began to creep in. The thought of others seeing her work filled her with anxiety. She began to hide her art away, convinced it wasn't good enough. Sabrina's self-doubt extended beyond her creative pursuits. It affected her personal life as well. She found it difficult to connect with people. The fear of rejection held her back from forming meaningful relationships. Sabrina felt trapped in a cycle of negativity, her own worst enemy. She longed for a way to break free and embrace her true potential. One day, while browsing a bookstore, Sabrina stumbled upon a book that would change her life. It was a collection of empowering quotes from inspiring figures throughout history. The words resonated deeply within her. They spoke of courage, resilience, and the power of self-belief. Sabrina felt a glimmer of hope ignite within her. She began incorporating these quotes into her daily life. She would write them down in her journal, repeating them like mantras. She placed sticky notes with uplifting messages on her mirror, reminding herself of her worth. The words became a source of strength and motivation, slowly chipping away at the wall of self-doubt she had built around herself. As she immersed herself in these words of wisdom, Sabrina began to notice a shift within herself. Her thoughts became more positive. She found herself focusing on her strengths rather than her weaknesses. The fear that had once paralyzed her began to loosen its grip. Sabrina realized that she had the power to choose her thoughts and shape her own reality. Sabrina started small. She began by sharing her designs with a trusted friend. The positive feedback she received gave her a much-needed boost of confidence. Emboldened, she decided to enroll in a local art class, a step that had previously seemed impossible. Sabrina felt her anxieties resurface as she entered the classroom. Taking a deep breath, she reminded herself of a quote she had read. "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." This simple phrase gave her the courage to push past her discomfort. She participated in the class, sharing her work with her peers and receiving constructive criticism. With each small step outside her comfort zone, Sabrina's confidence grew. The positive affirmations she had adopted were transforming her thoughts and actions. Sabrina started to believe in herself and her abilities. She embraced challenges as opportunities for growth. The fear of failure, while still present, no longer held the same power over her. Sabrina was learning to dance with her fear, to acknowledge it without letting it control her. Sabrina's newfound confidence extended to her professional life. She had always been a talented graphic designer, but her self-doubt had prevented her from fully showcasing her skills. She had often shied away from presenting her ideas, fearing rejection and criticism. However, armed with her daily affirmations, Sabrina felt a shift in her approach to work. One day, her company announced a design competition for a new marketing campaign. This had always been a source of anxiety for Sabrina. However, this time, she decided to embrace the challenge. She reminded herself of a quote she had taken to heart. "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." This quote pushed her to step outside her comfort zone. Sabrina poured her creativity into her design, drawing inspiration from the empowering quotes that had become her daily companions. When the time came to present her work, she did so with a newfound confidence that surprised even herself. Her colleagues were impressed by her innovative ideas and the passion with which she presented them. Sabrina didn't win the competition, but the experience was a victory in itself. She had faced her fear and proven to herself that she was capable of more than she thought. Section 5: Personal Triumphs, Love and Acceptance. Sabrina's transformation wasn't limited to her professional life. The positive affirmations she had embraced began to impact her personal relationships as well. She had always struggled with feelings of insecurity and unworthiness, making it difficult for her to open up to others. The fear of rejection had kept her heart guarded, preventing her from forming deep connections. One quote that resonated deeply with Sabrina was, "Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage." Inspired by these words, Sabrina decided to take a leap of faith. she began to express her feelings more openly and honestly. She allowed herself to be vulnerable, sharing her fears and insecurities with those she trusted. To her surprise, Sabrina found that her vulnerability was met with empathy and understanding. The people in her life responded to her authenticity with kindness and acceptance. Sabrina realized that true connection came from embracing her imperfections and allowing others to see her true self. She began to build deeper, more fulfilling relationships, free from the shackles of self-doubt. As Sabrina continued to grow and evolve, she felt a deep desire to share her journey with others. She had experienced firsthand the transformative power of positive affirmations and wanted to inspire others to embrace their own worthiness. Sabrina decided to create a YouTube channel dedicated to sharing her story and the tools that had helped her overcome self-doubt. Initially, the thought of putting herself out there on a public platform filled Sabrina with anxiety. She wrestled with her inner critic, questioning whether she was good enough, interesting enough, or knowledgeable enough to share her story with the world. But then she reminded herself of a quote that had become a guiding principle in her life. "The world needs your light, even if you think it's small." With a deep breath and a heart full of hope, Sabrina hit the record button. She shared her personal struggles with self-doubt, the pivotal moment when she discovered the power of positive affirmations, and the practical steps she had taken to transform her life. Sabrina's vulnerability resonated with viewers. Her story was relatable, her message hopeful and empowering. Sabrina's YouTube channel quickly gained a following. People from all walks of life connected with her authenticity and her message of self-acceptance. Viewers shared their own stories of struggle and triumph, expressing gratitude for Sabrina's willingness to be vulnerable and share her journey. Sabrina realized that her story, once a source of shame, had become a source of strength and inspiration for others. The comments and messages she received were filled with stories of transformation. People shared how Sabrina's videos had helped them to challenge their own negative self-talk, embrace their imperfections, and take risks they would have never considered before. Sabrina was deeply touched by the ripple effect of her vulnerability. She realized that by sharing her story, she was creating a space for others to do the same. Sabrina's YouTube channel became a community of support and encouragement. People from all over the world connected with each other, sharing their experiences, offering advice, and celebrating each other's successes. Sabrina had inadvertently created a movement of self-love and acceptance, empowering others to embrace their true selves and live their lives with courage and authenticity. As Sabrina's YouTube channel flourished, so too did her own self-belief. She realized that her journey was not about achieving perfection, but about embracing the messy, imperfect, and beautiful process of becoming. She learned to be kind to herself, to forgive her mistakes, and to celebrate her progress. Sabrina discovered that true confidence wasn't about never experiencing self-doubt, but about having the courage to face it head-on. One quote that became a mantra for Sabrina was, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." These words reminded her that she was worthy of love and belonging, regardless of her flaws or imperfections. Sabrina began to prioritize self-care, nurturing her mind, body, and spirit. She discovered the power of setting boundaries, saying no to things that drained her energy, and making time for activities that brought her joy. Sabrina realized that her worthiness wasn't dependent on external validation. It came from within, from a deep understanding of her own value and potential. She no longer sought approval from others, but instead focused on staying true to herself and her values. Sabrina had discovered the power within, the unwavering belief in her own worth that no external force could diminish. Sabrina's journey from self-doubt to self-belief was a testament to the transformative power of positive affirmations and the courage to embrace vulnerability. Her story was a beacon of hope, reminding us that we all have the power to rewrite our own narratives and step into our true potential. Sabrina's message resonated far and wide, inspiring countless individuals to embrace their own worthiness and live their lives with authenticity and courage. Sabrina's story taught us that self-love is not a destination, but a journey. It's about showing up for ourselves every day, choosing to focus on our strengths and celebrating our progress, no matter how small. It's about embracing our imperfections and recognizing that our flaws are what make us unique and beautiful. Sabrina's journey reminded us that we are all works in progress, constantly evolving and becoming. Sabrina's message of hope continues to ripple outwards, empowering individuals to challenge their inner critics, embrace their vulnerability, and step into their own power. Her story is a reminder that the journey of self-discovery is a lifelong adventure, filled with challenges and triumphs, and that the greatest reward is the unwavering belief in our own worthiness.